I am Alice of KHR Arts and Cloud Orchid Publishing, and today I am going to talk to y'all about why do I write even if I don't make a living at it? So this is a question that I get asked personally, as well as it's a question that, it comes up in the industry, in that it's a well-known thing that you're not going to make a whole bunch of money writing. It's very difficult and very rare for you to fully make a living with just your writing. And even so, even with, okay, maybe I'm not making a living at my writing, but am I making a lot of money with my writing? Most times the answer is no. So then the next question that a lot of people who are not necessarily writers or people who are just starting out will ask you, then why do you do it? And honestly, the answer is very simple. Writing is who I am. As I say in all my interviews, writing is ma raison d'être, which in French means it is my reason for being. It is intrinsical to me as a human. I have been writing since I was 3 years old. Now, I haven't been I wasn't a prodigy, I'm writing novels, amazing literary works at 3 years old. No. I was writing cute little stories, once upon a time there was a cat and the cat went to this one place and he made a friend and what you would imagine a 3-year-old would write. But that was a thing that I liked doing. I liked sitting and making up stories and writing them down and drawing little pictures to go with them. And I have so many notebooks. I have so many notebooks in storage, y'all, bins of notebooks. From when I was 3 years old to when I was 12 years old of just all of this little kid writing. Full of completely full notebooks, cover to cover, full of writing. And by the time that I got to when I was 12, I had written so much, just nearly every day, all the time, every free minute that I had. By that time, that was when I started being able to actually write novels. I got to the level of being able to be all right, I'm going to write something that's 100 pages, 200 pages, whatever, by the time I was 12. And it just snowballed from there. I started publishing and writing professionally by the time I was in my early 20s. I built Cloud Orchid Publishing with Brian back in 2013. And this was back when it was Cloud Orchid Magazine, the fashion magazine, before we even evolved to Cloud Orchid Publishing. And that was 11 years ago. That was back when I was 25 years old, that I started having my own published works, not even just having other stuff publish my stuff. I was doing the publishing. And today, I have over 30 titles published, and I have a giant list of more to do. And why do I devote so much energy to this? This is my life's work. This is my reason for living. Without writing, I have no justification for my existence. Not that, people necessarily need a justification for being alive, but, if someone told me tomorrow that, just poof, for some reason I'm not allowed to write ever again, I'd just be well, it was a nice run, we had a good time, but I don't need to be here anymore. I'm not gonna lie, I really, genuinely, that's how I feel. If I can't write anymore, I don't really see a purpose in me being here. Not to be morbid or anything, but truly, I need to write in order to feel alive, in order to feel like my life has meaning. That's what does it for me. And whenever I sit down to write, it is a magical experience. And this is the thing that in some ways even separates me from other writers, is I have been told by friends who participate in, we'll call them the extracurricular party favors, that the way that my brain works is the way that people's brains work when they're on extracurriculars. That I think on a completely different level. It's just out there. And I'm not being ooh, I'm so talented and smart, look at me, woo. It's not even that. It's my brain is wired differently. I have synesthesia. I taste colors and I taste words. So the way that my brain just processes information is just different than a normal person. And on top of it, I'm also neurodivergent. So then you have that, little wrinkle in there too. So taking all of this, when I sit down to write, it's a magical experience. I'm not here anymore when I write, okay? Like when I am one with the writing and I am creating, I am there. I am in it. Going from my brain to my fingertips to the keyboard. And it's like I'm not here. I can't even see the computer screen anymore. I am one with the keyboard and the story is happening. And that's also how I've gotten so fast at typing, because I can type a million times faster than I can write. And also my handwriting is just completely illegible, just not readable at all. But I've gotten so good at it so that I can keep up with my brain. My brain's like, and then this, and then that, and oh, this happening over here, and da-da-da. Like, it's like a movie is happening in my head, but it's so much more than a movie. There's just all these layers and all these things happening, and they're all happening at once, and different, like, perspectives are happening, and you're in different places, witnessing different things, but you can smell what's happening and you can taste what's happening. Like, okay, the characters, they're at this banquet. I can taste the food. I can smell the food. I can feel the fabric of the clothes. Like, it's hard to fully give it justice in what it feels like to me when I'm in it to a person that doesn't think this way. I can't fully articulate it. The best way that I can fully articulate it is in the writing of the stories, that when you pick up one of my stories and you read it, the biggest compliment that I get from my readers is that my books are so immersive, that you feel like you're there. And that is my biggest goal, is I'm like, I want to bring you into this magical world that I live in every day. Like, literally my brain lives here every day. Just la la la, magical adventure time and do. You know, like, this is my brain all the time. And that's part of the struggle that I've had growing up, and then also as an adult, is all my life I've had people tell me, you're going to have to grow up. You're going to have to grow up and stop being in this fantasy world. This is not what life is like. You're going to have to grow up and stop doing this and be an adult and be reasonable and la la la. And I can't. And I'm just very lucky that I have had the life experiences that I've had, where I've been able to be in employment situations where I am able to do a good job at my job and adhere to the limitations of the job of being an adult and all of that, while still living in this world. Just because I'm not physically writing, the world doesn't stop up here. It's still going. And it's my job to, when I'm able to, when I am on my own time, to then get back to that keyboard and be like, all right, we're entering in the story. It's happening and the things are happening. And oh my God. And that's also how I'm able to get so much writing done. Is like, one of the big things that people suffer from is writer's block. I don't know what that feels like. That's not a thing I do. For me, it's the struggle of, do I have the energy to do this? And do I have the time to do this? And is this an appropriate time to do this? We can't do this while we're in the middle of a meeting. It's not a thing you're supposed to do. That sort of thing. And when I finally, like, it's just like, and by the time I get to the keyboard, I'm like a crazy person. Like, I've been told by people that when they watch me write, I look like a crazy person. Like, the keyboard is just like clack, 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 clack. And my hands are just going a million miles an hour. And I'm at the point now where I have, like, my wrists are so messed up. They, like, dislocate now, and I have arthritis in my hands. It's terrible. And still I'm just like, looking like a crazy person. And, like, sometimes I'm not even looking at the screen while I'm writing. Like, I look like, Beethoven or something, just like, not even looking at the screen. I'm just, like, all over the place, because I am in it. I am experiencing it. And I need to get it on the page so that other people can experience it with me. And so when people ask me, why do you do this if you aren't making significant money doing it? If you experience life and the world around you the way that I do, how could you not? Would I like to make a living with my writing? Yes, 100%. I would love more than anything to wake up every day and the only thing I have to do is write more stuff. That would be a dream come true. That would be amazing. But unfortunately, that's not reality for me, at least right now anyway. Being able to have, honestly, it's like a superpower to, like, just live in this incredible, enchanted world, and then to have the skills and the talent to be able to communicate that with other people, that it's not just all trapped up here and I have no way of, like, translating that for others. The fact that I am blessed with, not only am I a good writer, I'm also a good artist. best. Like, mind you, my writing skills are like all the way up here and my art skills are like here, I would say. Like, I'm pretty decent at art. I took like 10 years of art. I'm pretty good at art, but like, am I amazing at art? No. Am I amazing at writing? Yes. And the fact that I can literally not only write a story, but I can also illustrate that story. So I can be like, by the way, if I haven't fully explained this magical world for you, here's a picture. That is such a gift and a privilege to be able to like fully express my world to other people. It's something I have to share. And I think that, like, you know, there are other people that feel that way too, like musicians and dancers and artists and just, you know, other creative people. Like, that's what being creative is all about, is I need to create this thing so that I can, you know, communicate my vision with others. Whether other people understand it or other people like it or other people care is kind of irrelevant. Like, we would love for other people to connect with what we're doing and to like it, but it's not necessary. Like, it does not offend me if someone picks up one of my books and they're like, you know what, this isn't for me. This isn't my cup of tea. Or they're like, you know, I didn't like it. Like, that's okay. That's okay. There's plenty of stuff that I don't care for. It's not my cup of tea that I didn't like. And that's another thing, is that a lot of people have difficulty with separating not liking something and something being objectively bad. It's not necessarily the same thing. People can dislike things that are amazing and it just doesn't jive with them for whatever reason. There are plenty of books that are amazing books, and I can absolutely wax poetic on the merits of the book. Did I personally enjoy it? No. I can explain why, but, you know, it doesn't negate the fact that it's a good book. And I recognize that in others, that not everyone is going to like my books, and that's not the point of my books. I don't need everybody to like my books, but I need to write them. And making money doing it is icing on the cake. Now, I don't want this to be confused with a very big problem that we're facing, and not just the writing community, but honestly any creative community, is AI is coming for us, and it's coming for us hard. And y'all know where I stand on that. And the fact that people think that just because creative people create things because they have this innate need to, and that we would do it regardless of if we're being paid or not, that doesn't mean we don't deserve to be paid for it. I am not just going to give my books away for free. I'm just not going to do that, and nor should anybody else. And the reason for that is because it took me time and effort and skill to write that story. And then it also took me time and effort and skill and money to make it into a book and to go out in the world and share that book, marketing, and get that book in front of people, conventions. That doesn't translate to giving books away for free. Absolutely not. Creatives deserve to be compensated for their creative works. Just because it is from their soul, just because it's from their magical world, just because it's from their heart, just because it's their raison d'etre, doesn't make it any less fiscally valuable. Just because it's not a piece of fruit at a grocery store, or it's not a stock at the stock exchange, whatever, doesn't make it any less financially valuable. And that's the main problem that we're seeing, is that non-creative people expect creative work for free. And that's why this AI crap has just completely gone off the rails, is because it's giving them their creative stuff for free. It's an environmental disaster, so it's not all free, but that's a whole other thing. And it degrades the value of the creatives, is then people have this horrific expectation of that, oh yeah, all of it should be free. And then they yell at us and get mad at us. And they're like, why do I have to pay for your book? Why do I have to pay for your painting? Why do I have to pay for your music? And it's like, bro, 'cause I made it. That's why. I devoted time and blood and sweat and tears to this. Pay me. Very simple concept. You go to your tax agent, they expect you to pay them for their services. You go to McDonald's, they expect you to pay for a cheeseburger. Buying a book from me is not any different. I expect you to pay me for it. The end. Let's go to Imagination Land. If for some reason I just never sold a book ever again, if nobody bought a book ever again, is that going to stop me from writing? Absolutely not. I will write until I can no longer write. I will write until the day that I pass from this world. It is my entire reason for being. It consumes my every waking thought. Everything about it is everything about me. And like even this, the way that I like dressing is also part of that expression, is that everything I do is all about like that self-expression of I want to share that in all these different capacities. That's why I used to be a model. That's why I used to be a performer. Just all of that. They're all these different narratives that I can use in order to express myself and share this like just amazing fanciful world that I live in my head, and that I can make physical for other people to experience it. And I don't know of anything else that's more meaningful or wonderful than that. So that's why I do this, even though I don't make a living at it. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a like. And if you're new, subscribe. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.